upset, y'all. And Britt's the one that helped save him. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review of Life Lchessica for General Hospital, November 11th, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thought on this episode down below, what y'all think that y'all like the episode. First of all, these people be talking way too much. Secondly, I love that Michael knew what Nina was up to. I love that he knew what she was up to. I said, yeah, I had to cut her. She wouldn't be able to visit that doggone them kids no more. Trying to sit up there and risk them and their emotions and stuff like that because you trying to help get your child out. Then Willow ended up seeing Michael, Wiley, and Jacinda together. She's supposed to be confronting Michael on tomorrow's episode about planning the weapon and stuff like that. I said we still haven't seen who actually shot Drew. We still haven't seen if Michael's the one who framed Willow. I mean, we assuming that he did at least frame her because he was there. Him and Carla was there. Now I don't know. We shall see soon enough. But okay, so today's new episode, we're gonna start with Dante and Nathan. So with Anna being out of town, first of all, they ain't went back to Anna yet. And the way they kept going to Nathan, I was like, he knows. I said, he knows something. I said, he knows something about Anna being gone. But yeah, they made Dante, or Laura asked Dante to step up and be commissioner. So now he's the commissioner. They was talking about that, talking about Anna and stuff like that, if she's okay. He ends up, I think they were talking about Sonny too. I think they were talking about Sonny, and they said something about they gave the big case to the DA or whatever. And he ends up assigning Nathan with Chase and asked him to keep an eye on him and let him know, what's going on because, he been there to visit Willow 3 times and that's his ex-wife. And I was like, yeah. Then Brooklyn over here talking too much too. To myself, could he have done it possibly? Girl, please. He looking out for Willow. You need to be looking out for your cousin. What the world going on? No loyalty around here. Should have known though. She wasn't even loyal to her grandmama. Wasn't even loyal to Tracy. But yeah, let me see if it was something else about Dante and Nathan. Dante wants Nathan back on the force. He said something about he looked at his psych evaluation and he was cleared to, work again. Nathan eventually agrees to join back on the force or whatever. I still think, like I said before, I said it's something about him. I don't know, y'all. What I've been saying, he ain't right. It's something about him is not right. I don't know what it is yet. Now, we all could be wrong. He could actually be Nathan, but it's the way he acts. It's the way they zoom in on his face. It's just like something malicious or something going on. I don't know. Brooklyn and Chase. So Chase ends up admitting to trying to get Willow freed or whatever, and she was asking him, was that a good idea? He ends up saying he's working on it outside of the apartment, and she was like, she seen what it was like when he lost his badge the first time. And I was like, oh yeah, he was a mess, wasn't he? And she was just trying to tell him, he risking a lot or whatever, and basically you need to let them figure out if Willow did it or not. And he wants to know what she's saying all this because she wanted them to figure it out because she worried about Michael. And I was like, y'all don't know. Nobody knows at this point if Michael did it. Y'all keep trying to say, he's to myself, I know. I'm going to trust my instincts. Shoot, what instincts? What instincts? I said, see, Brooklyn, this is your fault. If you had just gave him a doggone... Wait, no. If you would have just adopted a baby with him, he wouldn't be distracted over here with Willow. Now look. I said, these people just got married. They supposed to be planning their family. Now they over here stirring up trouble already. Because I feel like they setting it up for these folks to get back together. I about to say if you would have just gave him a baby, but I forgot. Then wasn't they going with the storyline that she couldn't have kids? No, it was him that couldn't have kids, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was Chase who couldn't have kids. But yeah, by the end of the episode, she ends up saying how, she liked that he's a hero and basically he takes his job seriously and stuff like that. They was hugging and stuff. I said, don't hug him. Michael and Jacinda. I should say Michael, Jacinda, Nina, and Wiley. Let me write that down. Nina and Wiley. So Nina's plan failed. It failed. She tried to set him up like she said on yesterday's episode. Michael and Jacinda was just talking. He was trying to get to know her. She was telling him about, her back in the day, excuse me, her past and stuff like that. So in walks Nina with Wiley. So Jacinda was like, I could leave if you want. He was like, no. So he introduced Jacinda to Wiley. So then Nina told me, okay, after she seen that her plan didn't work, she told me, okay, he got to go get his Sunday. He's like, no, or whatever. Jacinda and him could get the Sunday. He went over there and told her, I know what you're trying to do or whatever. You was hoping that basically the same thing she told Drew would happen. And I said, Michael, okay, check mark for Michael. Because I've been worried, boy. I've been worried about you. You've been talking a little too much now. Now, the only way this would be perfect is if he got proof that it was Willow that did it or something like that. Or if he actually knows who did it or something. Or something like that. Otherwise, it's just like, But yeah, I said, okay, Michael, you outsmarted her. Then she tried to sit up here and tell me so she gonna get proof so she could show it in the court and stuff like that, that he introducing his kids and having dinner and all this stuff with an escort or whatever. I said, how you gonna sit up here and you set it up? You set it up. He was like, okay. So then he went over there. He was like, Grandma Nina wants to take a photo, and they all just smiling. But then Willow walked in at the end of the episode, and she sees them together. And like I said, on tomorrow's episode, she's supposed to be confronting. Let me see what time it is. She's supposed to be confronting Michael or whatever. Olivia and Lulu was just talking about Rocco and Danny. I said, how is Danny always to blame? See, I said, how would that be his problem? He ain't got nothing to do with Britt or the fact that y'all lying to each other. That's what the word going on. I said, they gonna find a way to blame him, and I feel like this gonna come back, like Rocco said, on Danny. But yeah, they was talking about Britt and stuff like that, and Olivia was saying how she's a liar and all this other stuff. And I said, wait until she find out that Britt's the one that saved Ned and stuff like that. She was looking at the end of the episode. But yeah, they were just talking about that and how they gonna deal, or how she's gonna deal with it. Olivia asked her if she would be able to forgive Britt. She told us, no, she can't. She can't get past it. I said, maybe Britt gonna end up saving Rocco or something. Maybe that's what's gonna make her change her mind, if she actually changes her mind. Because, I mean, if she don't want him around, then that's just supposed to be what it is. But apparently it's not, because, you know, he older now. So, but yeah, what else? Oh, Olivia ends up getting a call from Gio. Gio told her about Ned. When she got to the hospital, that's when they said how Britt's the one that saved Ned or whatever. Charlotte, Rocco, Danny was talking about getting the key fob. They was talking about getting the key fob and stuff like that. They should have never got these folks involved. That's really what it is. Gio and Emma should have never got these three involved, but somehow it's going to be Danny's fault. But yeah, they should have never included these folks. So they was talking about getting a key fob and stuff like that. Rocco was apologizing because he couldn't get it. That's when they seen Ned and them come in. Britt said she lost her bag. She ends up telling them to go to Bobby's to see. They went to Bobby's and they found the key fob. Emma said they can't break into the lab tonight because she don't want to leave Gio because, you know, his granddaddy just had a heart attack. So they still finna go take their hard-headed tails and break into the lab. They supposed to be shocked by what they find. I want to know what they find when they go in there. But yeah, aside from that, what else happened? I feel like I'm skipping something. I know Ned was up, y'all. When they went outside, they seen him, and he was still up, and he was struggling to breathe. Emma went inside. I know she ain't took her tail to get this key fob and this man laying on the ground. That's what I immediately thought. I was like, what she done went? Because she was looking for her. She was gone. But next you know, she come out, she on the phone, and Britt's right there. Britt trying to help and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like I'm skipping something. Elizabeth. I said Elizabeth and Michael. Elizabeth and Lucas. They was talking about him moving in with Marco. She was like, you sure that's a good idea? And she thinks he's trying to sabotage the relationship. But he said, if they could live together in a castle, then they could live together in general. I said, yeah, okay. I don't think you want him as much as he wants you. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. What else? Let's see. Gia and Emma. It was something about Charlotte and them, I think. What was it? I know they couldn't get the key fob. Gia and Emma sitting there on the ground. Dante want Nathan back on the force. We talked about that. Elizabeth asked if Lucas trying to sabotage his relationship. Rocco was saying how he thinks Dan should reconsider, you know, trying to break into the lab and all this other stuff because of Drew. He gonna use that against him. He was like, he gonna not like me and hate me regardless. I said, that's true, because you Jason's son. And Michael right up there too. He don't like him either. Well, he hate him. Let's say what it is. I said, now by the end of this doggone week, we need to be knowing who the freak shot this man. I said, now come on now. We about to head into another month. We halfway done. What the word going on? Let's see what else. Did I talk about Brooklyn said Chase already lost his badge once. Lulu wishes she handled things differently with Rocco, but you didn't. You still ain't handling things well. Let's see. Ned had a severe heart attack. He needs a bypass. I don't know what that is. Is that surgery or something? But yeah, he needs a bypass or whatever. They look like they finally got in touch with Brooklyn because Gio said he had been trying to contact her, but you know, she too busy going back and forth with Chase over hard-headed tail. Oh, hard-headed tail. I said, Drew's not gonna like you working on this on Willow's behalf, buddy. He gonna get rid of you next. He probably gonna be the one to tell. He probably gonna be the one to tell on him. Then he gonna say, oh, Dante doing that because he don't want me investigating his brother. A whole mess. But yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, dudes, just have a good rest of the day and be safe.